In this video, we will work on this example. We will first state the hypothesis, then we will decide if it's a Z or T distribution. Also, we will calculate test statistic, p-value, and critical value. And finally, we will derive conclusion based on the results. Next, let's determine our null and alternate hypothesis. Here, the claim is that the average age of students in college is 23 years. So that becomes our alternate hypothesis. Whereas the null hypothesis is mean is equal to 23. Now let's determine if it's Z or T distribution. For that we can use this table here. In this problem, we see that population standard deviation sigma is not given, so we use T distribution. Now let's find test statistic using this formula. Before we find test statistics, let's try to figure out what our n, x bar, and sample standard deviation is. So to find mean and sample standard deviation, we can use calculator. So let me pull up my calculator up on the screen. Then go to stat. Then select edit, then hit enter. On your list one, we'll be entering all these datas here. So let's start one by one. 27, enter 28, enter 18, 36, 24, 23, 19, 30, 41, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 37, and 23. So once we are done entering the data, then go to stat, then calc, then we'll be selecting one variable stats, then hit enter. For your list, it should be list one because that's what we just entered all this data in. Then come down here to calculate, then hit enter. So let's write the values over here. So our n is 16. Our x bar is 25.125 and our sample standard deviation is 7.464. 7.464. So we also need mu, which is hypothesized mean, which is given to be 23. Now we can put everything in this formula. So let's do that. Our x bar is 25.125 and that is 23 over sample standard deviation is 7.464 over square root of 16. Now when you do this math, this whole thing comes out to be 1.139. Next, let's find p-value. Note that it is two-tailed test since we have not equal to sign in alternate hypothesis. So p-value is 2 times the probability that t is greater than 1.139. So let me label the graph here. So this value here is 1.139 and we are interested in this area. To get the p-value with t-distribution, we must use technology. So let's use TI-84. Now let me pull up my calculator up on the screen. Then go to second distribution. Then we'll be using TCDF, which is number 6 here. Then hit enter. Since here we need to find area above 1.139, our lower value is 1.139. And for our upper value, we will take large positive numbers. So we will take that as 999. And our degrees of freedom is n minus 1, which is 16 minus 1, which is 15. Then come down here, then hit enter. So we got this value for the area. So let me put that down. So basically that is 0.13628. And same goes on the other side since it is a two-tailed test. So this side is also 0.13628. Now to get the p-value, all we need to do is just multiply 0.13628 by 2, which gives us 0.2726, and we will round that to 3 decimal place. So basically p-value is 0.273. Next, let's find critical value. First, note that it is two-tailed test since we have not equal to sign in alternate hypothesis. So we will have critical values at both tails such that area is alpha by 2 at each tail. Let's put it in the graph. Since alpha is given to be 0.05, this area here is alpha over 2, so that becomes 0.05 over 2, which is equal to 0.025, 0.025. And if this area is 0.025, then this area here is also 0.025. Now, to find critical values, we can use different tools like calculator, Excel, and table. Here, I will show you how to do this by using TI calculator. For other methods, please see my other videos. Let me pull up my calculator up on the screen, then go to second distribution. We'll be using inverse T, this one, number 4, then hit enter. So the calculator takes area to the left, and if we are looking at this point here, this area to the left from this point here is 0.025. So let's put that 0.025. Then our degrees of freedom is 15, then hit enter and enter. So this point here is negative 2.131. Let's put the critical values down here. So therefore, our critical values are negative 2.131 and 2.131. To derive the conclusion, first let me draw a diagram. So this point here is negative 2.131 and this point here is 2.131, and our test statistic T is somewhere in here. So let's say, this point here is 1.139. From this diagram, we see that test statistic T is inside the critical value, so we do not reject the null hypothesis. Using p-value also, we can derive the same conclusion. Here, p-value is 0.273, and since alpha is not given, we will take alpha to be 0.05. Since p-value of 0.273 is greater than alpha 0.05, we do not reject the null hypothesis. Finally, for this particular sample, we can say that the sample does not support the alternate hypothesis. That is, the sample does not provide enough evidence to deny the admissions officer's claim that average age of students in her college is 23 years. We can also find test statistic and p-value using calculator. Here we see that the population standard deviation is unknown, so we use t-distribution. Hence, we will be using t-test in TI calculator. So now let me pull up my calculator up on the screen. Since if you look at this example here, since we are given data here, so we need to first enter this data in our calculator. For that, go to stat, then make sure your edit is highlighted, then hit enter. So on your list 1, you will be entering all this data. So let's do that. 27, 28, 18, 36, 24, 23, 19, 30, 41, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 37, and 23. Now, once we are done entering this data, then go to stat, go to test. We'll be using t-test in here, so select that, then hit enter. If we look at this example here, since we are given data instead of summary statistics, so make sure to select this data, then hit enter. Now let's enter the given information. So mu0 is the given mean in null hypothesis, which is 23. So let's enter that and come down here to list. We just entered all our data in list 1, so that's why this should be list 1. Then come down here, so frequencies should be 1. Then come down here, next to alternate hypothesis, we are given not equal to sign. So select not equal to mu, then hit enter. Then use this arrow key to come down here, then hit enter. So for test statistic, this is what we got, and this is exactly what we got from calculator. And similarly for p-value, this is what we got earlier, and this is exactly what we got from calculator also. Thank you for watching. We hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe our channel. We will be bringing more and more videos on variety of topics.